All right, so what I want to show you now is how to group or combine multiple layers to a single group within your Procreate. Let us go first to a design. So this is a costume drawing for Mrs. Bennet in Pride and Prejudice. And I want you to look at how many different layers were used in creating that composition. So basically, there are about 50 layers that were used to create the composition. One of the things that happens is it kind of gets hard to remember where all this stuff is once you've got a bunch of layers. And so by grouping, it's also called combining, by grouping individual layers into one group, you can organize this layers bar. So let me show you how I often use this. If you look at this group that I've just highlighted, this is the group of everything that creates the background. Everything that creates the background is grouped here. And when I click on this arrow, it will now expand the group. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 layers that are needed to create the background for the costume drawings in this show. And so what I do is I group everything together that's going to be the background so I can keep them all in one place and they're always accessible to me, right? And so what I did was originally when I created this composition, each of these layers was a separate thing. If you look, for example, here's the Pride and Prejudice, here's the characters, here's the character's name, here's the actress's name, here's my signature, the very bottom, here's the inserted image that serves as the background, right? Here's UMW Theater. And I put that on the design first because I had developed the background and then I wanted to build the design. But I didn't want to see all of that when I was looking in my layers menu, so I grouped them together so that I could get them all out of the way very, very quickly. All right? Here's another way that I use groupings, in that all of these pieces, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, were all original resources I pulled from the internet to collage the character. And so by grouping them, when I was done, I kept them there in case I made a boo-boo, but I didn't want to see them in the whole menu. All right? Whoops, cancel here. Right? And if this box is clicked, then you will see them in the original composition. You can't see them now because they're all hidden under pieces of the dress. All right? So that's the 2 ways that I use groups. So let me show you how to make that happen. So I'm going to go back out to my opening menu and I'm going to take this artwork. All right? And so here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers, including the background layer. How do I group them? There's a couple of ways that you can do it. If I go to my top layer and I hit combine down, you'll notice it's formed a new group and it's taken 2 of them. So you want to combine 2 layers together rather than merge 2 layers, because remember, our other option is to hit merge, and that will take those 2 layers and put them into one, right? But if I don't want them on the same layer and I want to keep them as discrete layers, then I'm going to hit combine down, and now I've got a new group that's composed of the gown layer and the robe layer. And if I minimize that and take it away, those have now disappeared from the composition. Okay? Then I can do the same thing here if I wanted to and combine down those 2. All right? The other way that you can do it, and I'm going to go backwards even more here, is you can do it without using the side menu. What you do is you hold on until it changes, and move it on the next one, and see how the blue box lights up? Now you have created two layers. You've combined down those two layers. If you want to add another layer to that, hold this and then up until it turns blue, and now we've put it in that group. And you'll see how this is an original layer and these are indented. Once you start to group them, they will indent, okay? And if I minimize that, now all three of those items in that group go away. Does that make sense? So let me reverse it and show you how to do that again. All right, so let's say I want to put all four of these in a group, right? I'm going to grab this, and then I'm going to put it right, it says robe, until I get the little square around the picture, and then let it go. Then I'm going to take this, and I can, right? But it will also move its placement in the group of layers, all right? And I can do the same thing, all right? One more time, right? So the more proper way to do it is this. Click it, pull it down, right? And I can pull this up, and then pull this, and now I've got them all in combination. And if I somehow get the layers out of order once I put them in the group, I can just move them and put them back in the right order. So that's how you combine or group layers. Just open a screen and just practice it, and you'll see how it works.